Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 7 of the IFL presented by Butt Kicker. We are here this afternoon at Road Atlanta for round number 7 of the F2 division. Cars are on track right now. We've got about 15 minutes left in free practice. Lewis Archer currently at the top of the board. Ivan Baukamp currently second place right now on the board, with Eli Cannon sitting in third, just 1.2 seconds off of Baukamp. And as you see right there, Baukamp goes to the top of the charts with the fastest lap of practice with a 1 minute 8.850. So just a little bit faster than Lewis Archer, but enough to take the top of the charts here. We've also want to recognize a few of our other sponsors we've got, Majors Garage and LTD Designs. All three of our sponsors do a lot for our league, and we appreciate their continued support through multiple seasons. It's been an awesome ride to watch this league grow. We've got Cristiano Schegetman in the session today in an F2 car. He missed last week's F3 race, where he is one of the title contenders, but he is here at Road Atlanta in an F2 car for Turning Point, and he is currently in fourth position on the board with a 1 minute 10.246. So about a second and a half off of Ivan Baukamp's pace at the moment. Baukamp and Archer seem to be in a league of their own, about a second over the rest of the field. So should be an interesting battle between those two this afternoon. Looks like we've got a total of 10 cars currently on the field. Should prove for a good race. It looks to be 10 more laps to go here in free practice. A very fast racetrack here at Road Atlanta. Lots of blind corners, lots of hills, and it should make for tough visibility for these F2 drivers. Going up, like you see Schegetman going over top of this hill. If someone's spun around or something's going on there, you won't know it until you crest that hill, and sometimes that's a little too late. It's like Schegetman gets a little bit in the grass there and has some issues. There is your current fastest guy, Ivan Baukamp. Baukamp had a struggle the last couple races. He was fighting up at the front and just could not pull that win out of his hat. He's looking fairly quick today, trying to find the limits of his car at the moment. So the battle between Ivan Baukamp and Lewis Archer starting to heat up. We're only 6 races into the season. 12 more races to go left in the F2 division. Lots of points still up for grabs. And while we talk about points, why don't we take a look at our current constructor standings after 6 rounds. Cuda Works F2 team is currently up on top by 81 points over Turning Point Racing. And the Cuda Evo F2 team of Daniel Thomas and Ivan Baukamp is sitting in third with 90 points. And Lumos Esports, they're really not too far out of it either. They're still about 100 points or more down below the Cuda Works F2 team. But Alexander Shanna and James Miller are fairly decent drivers and score points quite regularly. So for them to catch the Cuda Works F2 team, they're really going to need to have Lewis and Steve Grabowski to be having some difficult weeks here ahead, but there is still a lot of points out there up for grabs, and they definitely have a fighting chance. Only 6 races into this one. And being that we have constructors, we also have driver's points. Lewis Archer currently in the lead with 122 points. Chris Byram in the 66 machine, or in this, he's got 66 points. And Ivan Baukamp there, we've seen him fastest in free practice here, is with 62 points. So Ivan's still 60 points behind Lewis Archer. That's 3 race wins. Just shy of 3 race wins, and Lewis not scoring any points. So Ivan definitely going to be working hard to try to catch Lewis here. Don Day and Luis Colon for the turning point race and are currently 4th and 5th. So those two guys together can start scoring some points and work up. They're not really that far behind the top 3. So still a chance at finishing in the top 3 this season. Lots of points still up for grabs. Only a few minutes left in practice here. Looks about to be about 5 minutes left or so. And then we will be going to our 25-minute qualifying session, which we will set the grid with an open qualifying session. And then we have a 5-minute warm-up before we go lights out. Oh, and it looks like maybe Shanna just had a problem there spinning off track. Cristiano Shigutman, he's coming up out of the pits right now, but he is currently sitting in 3rd on the board. Luis Colon and James Malaire right behind him. And Steve Grabowski's out there. Pretty surprised he, Chris Byram actually left the Coody Motorsports team and is no longer racing with them. So Steve Grabowski moved from the Cuda Racing School over to the Cuda F2 team. So a nice promotion for Steve Grabowski, and this will be his first race in the Cuda Works F2 colors. We'll see what Steve can do. He's usually fairly fast and at the top of the charts. Currently sitting P7 in free practice. Steve's had a kind of rough start of the season. Hasn't had the greatest finishes that he's wanted. So he'll be looking to make an impression here. All the drivers here, being that there's 10 drivers here, will get points. It's just how many points and where they finish. So everybody's going to be fighting for them top spots. Ivan Baukamp still at the top of the charts with a 108.850. Going to go off track as well. Alexander Shanna is just starting the lap. Let's actually take a look here at Road Atlanta. Oh, and Shanna is gonna crash. That's not gonna work very well. Ivan Baukamp's on an out lap. Let's take a ride with Baukamp once he comes across the start-finish line, and we'll get you a good view of Road Atlanta. 47 laps. The distance tonight here at the Road Atlanta Grand Prix. These drivers going to be having to take 1 mandatory pit stop for tires and fuel to be able to make it to the end of this race. But as Grabowski and Baukamp there get together behind our race info screen, it looks like the track temperature is not too bad today. It looks like it's 92 degrees out, so it doesn't look like the track temperature is too bad, so these guys should be all right. It shouldn't be too slippery for them. Looks like there's even a little bit of shade over the racetrack right now. Clouds moving in over top. Less than 3 minutes left to go here in practice. Shigutman's coming around. Let's take a ride with the Turning Point Racing F2 driver. Go up a very blind hill and you got a tight right-hand corner and he misses it. That is going to be our problem corner this afternoon. taking a ride on board with James Miller. We're going to get you around this racetrack one way or another. We'll find some driver that can go. There's that tight right-hand corner. Then you go back down the hill. Comes down the first decent passing zone after turn 2 right here. And then we've got the long straightaway. These cars, oh, and he gets into the wall there. We come down that long straightaway. See if we can find someone on a good lap. We're going to run with Lewis Archer. Come down this long straightaway and get to a good passing zone. So I think that's 3 passing zones. Turn 1, turn 7, and at the end of the straight. And then you gotta get around this corner pretty decent. The low downforce package these guys are running, the DRS is not gonna have as much oomph. With this track, it's a very fast racetrack with tight corners, so there's not a whole lot of room to pass. So getting that toe down the couple straightaways they got is gonna be their best option. They're gonna have to be really close to someone and make sure they get there. A lot of runoff room there on the right-hand side before he gets going down the shorter of the 2 straightaways here. To come around the 2 right-handers, second of which being a little slower, and then you get shot down the long straightaway on the back side of the racetrack. Getting ready to come through the last sector of the racetrack, trying to catch Balkamp's time. Only 8 seconds left in practice. Can he make it to the line and beat Ivan's time? He makes it to the line, but he's not going to do it. It's a 1:11.873. Ivan Balkamp going to take the top spot in free practice. And we are going to get ready to go qualifying 25 minutes here at Road Atlanta. And it looks like my partner, Stathis Kokorianis, is finally in the booth. Stathis, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You are very quiet, but I can't
Very
hear you.
quiet. Oh, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good evening. Hello.
Yep, I am picking you up. Give me just a minute.
Yes. I hope the listeners can hear me too.
Yep, the stream can hear you. I think it was just on my side that I was having a little bit of difficulty, but I think we got that fixed now. Welcome, Stathis. We're just now here getting ready to start qualifying.
iRacing's about to complete its update on my side, so I only see what the stream is showing for the time being. I mean, hello everyone! Wow, we haven't talked since last week. What a crazy race was Long Beach, right? For the F2. Where have you seen any race finish under in nighttime? It was pretty amazing, with Lewis Archer taking another pole position, and yeah, it was really good. Really good to see a top performance from many drivers. Obviously, some things have changed during the week, but here we are in Road Atlanta, an infamous circuit very much known as in the sports car world for the Petit Le Mans race that concludes its year's IMSA championship. Legendary track, and here we are now with the F2 championship. We are now with Lewis Archer, still trying to hit up the tires. There's a big car turning point car in on the grass there, by the side of the road.
Lewis is going to be the first person to. Oh, it looks like we're getting a few lap times in. James Miller currently at the top of the charts. He came in quick with a 109.69 for his first lap, so nice lap for Miller.
Less than 2 minutes until the update is done, so I can be live
and
with
Miller
you.
is gonna lose it
Ooh,
in qualifying. Steve Bunting gets a lap down. Still 6 drivers to get a lap put down. Can Lewis Archer take the pole once again? 4 wins in 6 races. He's looking to make it 5.
Rob,
And he
I
does.
don't know.
He goes to the top of the charts
He
with
goes.
a 109.601.
Excellent for the time being. Still early days in qualifying. But Rob, what are we looking forward to in this track? It has very twisty corners. There's a lot of things is dependent on downforce. There's a very big straight. I mean, it's a very flowy circuit.
Yeah, we already kind of touched on a little bit of how the circuit works, but honestly, the toe is going to be very, very crucial. If you let someone get away from you, it's going to be hard to catch back up to them. The DRS with the low downforce they're running, the DRS that they have isn't going to be as effective as if they were running a high downforce, so they won't see as big of a jump when they hit that DRS button as they would as you see Lewis Archer sending it underneath the bridge, having a rough go of qualifying, still out front, but definitely not at the pace that he was at a little earlier. Eli Cannon just starting his 3rd lap. And he actually goes to the top of the charts with a 109.568. So Eli Cannon putting some pressure on the guys up front at the moment. 5 drivers got a lap in. Shegetman, Shannon, Baukamp, Thomas, and Grabowski still have yet to put a lap in. And as I say that, Ivan Baukamp goes to the top of the charts with a 109.362. That's just his 2nd lap. So 5 minutes, 6 minutes into qualifying, 19 more minutes to go. And these guys having a difficulty staying on track and putting some laps down.
I don't know about you, Rob, but I think it's time for Balcom to break a duck. I think this will be his first win in IFL.
Baukamp and Archer were within a few hundredths of a second in practice, but Baukamp did have a little bit more pace than Lewis did. Not sure if Lewis had a little bit extra in the tank that he could have pushed. I'm absolutely sure the reigning F3 champ has got something he's hiding up his sleeve. Baukamp is definitely going to have his work cut out for him today, but if he's going to win anywhere, it could be here. He's been very, very quick, and he just has to beat Lewis Archer, and that's what everybody has to try to do. It seemed to be something that's very difficult, and so Ivan seems to be in the best place to do it. He just has to get it done, and we'll see if he can do it here. 47 laps. It doesn't seem like that's that long of a race here for Road Atlanta.
I mean, we all remember that he was taken out while he was leading in at Long Beach. It was a very unfortunate moment, both for him and from Steve Grabowski. But let's see what will happen today. I'm sure everyone wants the win, and as Nicholas Marshall in the chat says, Lewis may take it cautiously today.
I'm sure Lewis has something else in the tank. We'll have to see when it comes to qualifying. Ivan just sets another fast lap, 1:08.875. Steve Grabowski's got his number 48 machine up to third position with a 1:09.549. And it looks like either Shanna just came out of the last corner there. He's just set his first lap, 7th quick, with a 1:10.755.
It's gonna be interesting tire-wise too. Don't forget that Ivan was talking about tire wear after long beats, and this track puts a lot of stress on tires.
Yeah, one thing I think we're learning throughout this season is that these F2 cars definitely have some tire wear that is prominent in race. The F3 cars, you don't really notice too much tire wear due to the fact that we have shorter races, and we have a tire stop in there like the F2 cars do. But with these F2 cars, they got a lot of horsepower and they're really light, and you could really tear these tires up. So I believe Alexander Shanna was talking to me a couple weeks ago about how he actually does practice and finds out when he's actually going to need his tire stops now, because it's not so much just going to when you run out of fuel and then making a pit stop. It's trying to find out the optimal time to take your tires, so that way you're not running on bad tires, but you're not wasting anything either. So there's a lot more that goes into the planning and strategy of these F2 cars than it does the F3 counterparts on Sundays.
Only Thomas hasn't completed a timed lap as of yet.
What do you think about this? Almost halfway through practice, and Lewis Archer is P6. Is he playing some mind games, or is he just having a rough time putting a lap down? As he say that he goes up to third place with a 1:09.583. Very unusual to see Lewis Archer in the middle of the pack.
He always has the answer. He always has the answer, doesn't he? I mean, he did a very solid lap at the end of qualifying in at Long Beach. The track evolution is very big always, but yeah, I think he always wants to win, and he's building up to it. He was consistent at Long Beach. He didn't have to be the fastest. He just had to be consistent, and he saw his opponents making mistakes. He didn't, and he won.
Well, he's going to have to do it again here. Road Atlanta, one of, I believe, the more difficult tracks, site-wise, as some of the tracks we've actually been at this season. Almost every other corner is up over top of a hill or down a hill, and it's really difficult to get your bearings and see over top of some of these. So it ought to make things really interesting. Lewis Cologne running in second place right now. He's actually in the pits, but second place run for Luis is not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Currently at a 1:09.336, definitely something he needs. I don't see Don Day here, so good to see one of the Turning Point cars up in the top three. Definitely needs those points for today. Hopefully we can see a good run out of Luis today. It's been a rough few weeks for the Turning Point guys.
One driver to keep an eye on is Cristiano Schegertman. He leads the Formula 3 championship points table, and he's currently in P7. He's 1 second off the pace for now, but he's getting used to the car, and I'm sure he will play a factor later on in the race. I'm surprised that there aren't many Orion race cars on track right now, but for the time being it's A very positive field, very positive field. It may be consisted of 10 drivers, but it's highly competitive.
Yeah, looking like Steve Grabowski's actually a little faster than Lewis Archer. He almost set his fastest time there, trying to pull himself out of that second row and get up to the front row. Just now, I think we're at the halfway point of qualifying right now. Ivan Baukamp currently out front, Luis Cologne in second, and Lewis Archer is running third. There's the man to beat at the moment, Ivan Baukamp, with 1 minute 8 seconds. Very fast lap. The only driver currently qualifying to get into the 8-second bracket. Lewis Archer is the only other driver in practice to get there. Can he get there again and knock down Ivan to second place and take another pole this year? He's got about 12 minutes to do so. Archer moves up to second, still not in that 108 second bracket.
I'm surprised to see this such a big gap between Baukamp and Archer, even if we are at halfway point.
Well, currently the gap is only about 0.3 of a second. And Lewis on a flying lap. We'll see if he can take that pole position away. He got himself on the front row, but if anybody knows Lewis Archer, front row is not good enough. P1's the only place to be. That long straightaway where that toe is going to be so crucial. That's a major braking zone. You have to hit that braking zone just right to get this turn. It's downhill, and you actually almost want to brake a little bit earlier than you think you want to brake, just because of it being downhill and being somewhat of a fast corner, actually. Oh, Lewis Archer still not able to get it done as much as he's trying.
He's closing. He's closing. Oh, and the first lap for Thomas. He's in P9 for the time being. 1.2 seconds of the pace.
Daniel Thomas, part of the Cuda Evo F2 team, looking to try to make an impression here today. He said he's looking to talk to us in our top 3 interview at the end of the race. So lots of confidence coming out of Daniel Thomas this afternoon. Looks like he's battling with Steve Grabowski or Lewis Archer there on the racetrack. Not really something you want to be doing in qualifying. It looks like he lets him get a little bit away so he can try to get that toe. I think he's just a little too far back for that, but that would have been perfect. And Archer finally gets into the 8 seconds, 108.996.
He's closing.
Got about 0.2 to Ivan Baukamp in front. And Baukamp just puts a 108.962, so Baukamp just puts a little bit faster lap than Lewis. Can Daniel Thomas put his car up towards the front of the pack for the start of this race? He's had some okay qualifying efforts, but just some of his races haven't gone too well. I think his best run he had so far this year was at the Austrian Grand Prix when he was battling with Lewis Archer for second place. Went in for his pit stop, had some issues, and went off track, got into the wall, and it really ended his day, which was a big heartbreak for Daniel Thomas, but he's worked through it. He's coming back, and he's got more confidence than ever in this car. As he crosses the line, can he move himself up the board? No, he's not going to do it with a 110.201. Still struggling to find some pace here at Road Atlanta. Cristiano trying to pick up his place in the grid. Looks like that was not a clean lap, and he goes off track again. So Schegetman really having a rough time here. Eli Cannon just puts down his fastest lap of qualifying. Still 5th quick with a 109.451. Eli is the only Orion Racing entry here this afternoon. So looking to try to score some points for his team. And Steve Grabowski moves up to 3rd place with a 109.188, so getting very close to the 108 second bracket, along with Archer and Baukamp. Cannon can't quite get her done there. James Miller is getting ready to come out of the last corner. Can he pick up his time and move himself up? Yes, he does. He moves up to 2nd with a 108.989. Drops Lewis Archer down to 3rd. Great lap for the Lumos Esports driver.
I think I'm all set now, Rob. I think I'm all set.
Awesome. Well, after just about 20 minutes, we're at 19:45. 20 minutes of practice. We're qualifying. 5 more minutes left to go. Ivan Baukamp up at the top with James Miller in 2nd, Lewis Archer 3rd, Steve Grabowski 4th, and Luis Colon in 5th.
It's very, very close.
It's crazy to see Lewis Archer currently in the pit lane still, not out on track trying to advance his position. So wheels turning in the CUDA Works F2 garage. Schegetman turns his fastest lap with a 109.792. Still only good enough for 7th position.
Oof.
Ivan Baukamp on a flying lap at the moment. He's up front doing what he can to try to make it harder for people to overtake him.
Moeller and Shanna are on their out laps.
Little lock up there for Baukamp.
Still Archer in the pits. Surprising. Can Baukamp take pole position? That would be amazing for him. That would be amazing.
Comes out of that last turn.
Here we go. Loads of curb on the inside at turn 1. Very aggressive, very aggressive.
James
To the
Miller
downhill.
getting ready to come out of the last sector. Can he take that pole position away from Ivan Baukamp? Not yet. 109.365. Lewis Archer finally on his outlap coming out of the pits. Only 3 more minutes left to go. It's now or never. Ivan Baukamp still up on top.
Can he improve? If he improves, that will be a very good indication about the pole position. Last corner for Baukamp. No, he loses it. He loses it on throttle application. He destroys the back of the car. Still time for one more lap. Still time for one more lap. He's leaving the pits right now.
Eli Cannon just puts his fastest lap down.
109.0. Oh, very close. Very close. 2 tenths.
Lewis Archer getting ready to start his final. He might get one more after this, but
Yes,
getting ready to
he
start
has 2
his
laps.
flying lap. Let's take a ride with Lewis around his attempt at trying to get that pole position as he starts his first flying lap. He's still warming up tires. I think he's planning on one more.
He will attack next lap. Can he do it again? Can he do it again? As Baukam leaves the pits behind him. Baukam is behind him, and he will too have one more lap.
1 minute, 30 seconds left in qualifying.
This is
Can
tense.
Lewis
This is
take
tense.
it down from Baukamp? And is Lewis waiting too much, letting Baukamp get in close, making it to where Baukamp could possibly get a toe on Lewis?
That will be cheeky. That will be cheeky. Eli Cannon is in the pits, as is Luis Calon and Daniel Thomas. They will not improve their times.
I think Ivan is going to be close enough for a toe on Lewis Archer. It looks like it's going to be close. Lewis has really got to push to keep Ivan off his toes so that Ivan cannot get a faster lap than him.
But if Baukam is very close, then he will get the dirty air from Archer as he starts his final flying lap for qualifying. Archer, turn 1. Less aggressive than Baukam was last time out. Look at that, they cannot see the apex of the corners. Downhill he goes. He has to guess where to turn the car.
It's almost like muscle memory. You just kind of get used to where it's at, and you just hope and pray that you're right and that your car's not half a car length over to one side or the other. This very tricky section, this corner, you really need to get on the throttle hard. You got a long straightaway. You could lose a lot of time in that corner.
Baukam, Moller, Archer, everyone on a flying lap, as is Grabowski. Can Archer do it? Final chicane. Very aggressive. Oh, bit on the grass, that will cost him time.
I think he might have gotten it off track there. He might not be able to do it. He comes across the stripe.
Oh,
109.662, that's not going to do it. Looks like Ivan Baukamp is going to take the provisional pole here at Road Atlanta with a 108.875. James Miller out on track. I think he might make one more. Nope, he just called it. No, he might be able to have one more. He just called it as well. Alexander Shanna, the only driver left on track.
I think he completed his lap and he improved on... oh, no, he did not improve. He did 110.3.
So as your field stands, Ivan Baukamp in first, James Miller rolling off second, Lewis Archer, your championship leader, rolls off third place, Eli Cannon in fourth, Steve Grabowski in fifth, Luis Colon in sixth, Cristiano Schegetman, Daniel Thomas, Alexander Shanna is in ninth, trying to pick up his time.
What a performance for Baukam. What a performance. Is this his first pole position?
I'm not exactly sure. But as we go to our beginning of our warm-up, we want to take just a few moments to recognize the day today. It is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So we are going to join the world in a moment of silence in remembering all the victims and the people impacted from that time. we want to thank everybody for that. Such a tragedy. Many lives lost. Many people affected over it. And 20 years. Been a long time. I think I was in 7th grade when that stuff happened. So glad to see that things are improving around the world. And things are about to heat up here at Road Atlanta. Warm-up session. Drivers getting on track. Half our drivers currently on track right now. A lot of drivers use this warm-up time to get ready for the race, and all these drivers using some warm-up time to try to get a little bit more time on track. Very tricky track. A lot of these drivers may not have even practiced with a bunch of cars around them in the air, so it's going to be a real tough first couple laps. 10 cars trying to go for that front position. And the big story, Lewis Archer starting in 3rd position. That is just absolutely crazy to me. I don't think I've seen Lewis Archer not on the front row yet this season.
He started from pole position last time out, but he lost the lead due to a poor start. So maybe starting from the 2nd row may bring luck to him, but the first corners are gonna be so tricky for every driver. Tires will be cold, brakes will be cold too. It's gonna be a huge challenge for everyone, and I think it's this race will still be another endurance round for every driver, and also strategy will play a key role.
Yeah, strategy is definitely going to be key. You don't want to come out in dirty air, and you definitely want to try to be out in front of your competitor a little ways so that they can't get that toe down that long straightaway. Because if they can get that toe, it's going to be really hard to stop them from trying to pass you going down that hill into that braking zone. So
yes,
it'll be very crucial for these guys to get a little bit of space between them and their competitors.
Track position will play a role, because there is only one place to overtake on this track, the back straight, and yeah, unless you are very imaginative and you can fantasize a huge launch, then be my guest. But I think it's very difficult to overtake here.
The big question now, being that turn 1 is a fairly fast turn 1, do we get a safety car this week in turn 1?
Oh. I almost forgot the safety car factor, to be honest with you, Rob. I almost forgot the safety car factor. I think that if a driver isn't blocking the circuit or isn't staying in the circuit, then it's gonna be tricky.
Lap 1's gonna be very frustrating. I mean, a lot of it's blind. So if someone loses their car just over top of the crest of the hill, you're not going to see that until you get over that crest, and it could be too late. So it ought to be very chilling at the beginning of this race. Well, we got about a minute left to go. As actually we don't. Warm-up is coming to a conclusion right now. So we are actually not going to show you the driver's standings. We were about to. But warm-up has come to a conclusion, and we are getting ready to go lights out. Ivan Baukamp got himself on the pole. There
From James
starting grid.
James Archer P3, Eli Cannon will be on the 2nd row. Steve Grabowski and Luis Calon, Christian Segerman, Daniel Thomas, Alexander Sean, and Steve Bunting complete today's grid.
Just a few seconds, and we will be lights out for round 7 of the IFL presented by Butt Kicker. 47 laps the distance today. And I believe that's all of our drivers gridded up. Lights out.
Here we
We're
go.
away at Road Atlanta. James Miller with a great start on Ivan Baukamp.
From the outside. He cannot do it, but Steve Grabowski, I think he's about to take second place. From Muller, no, he doesn't. I think everyone went through cleanly. Baukamp leads from Muller, from Grabowski. Archer lost 1 position. Daniel Thomas has gained 2 positions. And look at that, look at that! The Archer is right behind Grabowski. Will he attempt it? Oh!
Grabowski gets into Miller. Lewis goes off track.
Oh,
Keeps it safe.
Cars.
I'm not sure if Lewis has any damage.
Where's Grabowski? Where's Grabowski?
Grabowski's still spinning in the grass. Everything is clear.
Again, a costly mistake from Grabowski.
And James Miller going after Ivan Baukamp. There's
from the
toe.
outside.
And Baukamp gets into Miller. They both go off track. Eli Cannon takes the lead.
Baukamp is second, Cologne third, fourth, Shake It Man, and
Miller goes to the pits.
Immediately
Daniel Thomas up to 5th place already. He said he was going to see us in that top 3 interview, and he is working it. But now we've got the 2 Racing Point drivers battling for position behind. Looks like Luis Colon is going to try to take on Baukamp.
Does Baukamp has an issue? Yes, he has. Oh, the touch! And the touch!
Oh, and he takes out Daniel Thomas!
Oh, no! Oh, and they got destroyed. They're off track. They're both off track.
What? Oh, wow. And we don't have a safety car, but what a beginning of the race. Somehow, Lewis Archer, after all that craziness, back to 4th position.
Baukamp's in the pits. Baukamp is in the pits.
I'm sure Baukamp and Daniel both go into the pits. Ivan Baukamp towed, so Ivan will be sitting in the pits for a few. That is going to stop him from winning this race. Really tough break for him. Great pole position. And we've seen a bunch of contact throughout this race so far. But look who's out front. And he currently has the fastest lap, just to brag up a little bit. Eli Cannon out in front for Orion Racing. I think this is the first time Eli has gotten to lead in F2 Grand Prix. So he's got to be pretty excited about where he's at, but he's also got to be pretty nervous about where he's at, because he's not usually up there. So you see Luis Colon and Cristiano Schegemann, the 2 pink Turning Point Racing cars. They are
Steve Grabowski! Steve Grabowski crashed. Steve Grabowski crashed. Where is he? Where is he? I can't see it. He was exiting the twisty corners. His car seems fine, but he's fallen back to P7. Did he touch the curb a bit too much? He took.
No, he
lost that
yet. Spun it out. Did he keep it off the wall? Yeah, he kept it off the wall, so everything's good for Steve. Luis Colon, though, having a great run to run in 2nd place, trying to chase down Eli Cannon. Cannon currently 3.1 seconds ahead.
Daniel Thomas has left the pit lane. He's 8th right now, ahead of James Moller. Ivan Baukamp is still in the pits. I mean, come on, Ivan, give him a break. He was so unlucky. First he touched with Moller, and then this happened with a turning point. I think it was the turning point of who was that? Was that Luis Colon? I think it was Luis Colon. No, not Luis Colon. Yes, I think it was Luis Colon.
Eli Cannon currently gapping the field a little bit. 3.1, 3.2 seconds. So pulling away from Luis Colon just a little bit.
Baukamp has exited the pits, but he's 2 laps down.
Baukamp will be
Unfortunately.
battling for position with James Miller, who I believe is right behind our leader, in
Yes, he
between
is.
the leader and
Oh!
second place, and he gets in the grass a little bit. That's going to allow Luis Colon to catch him.
Baukamp spent
Not
2 minutes
enough,
in the
but-
pits.
Cristiano Schegetman right there behind. He just turned the fastest lap of the race, a 1:10.443. So time's starting to drop down. Nobody down into the 109s quite yet. Lewis Archer. I have to imagine that Lewis Archer's got a problem with his car. He's currently running in 4th position. Unless he's just
running-
kind of taking it easy. He's not gaining anything really on Schegetman. And he's just kind of hanging out. So wondering what's going on with Lewis Archer with that contact at the beginning of the race. Is that affecting his race car?
I think he didn't. I think he didn't have a contact with Grabowski. I think he was taking evasive action. He just went off track just to avoid his new teammate. But yeah, unfortunate for Kude yet again. And Grabowski crashed again. Grabowski, did he crash again?
Tough break for Steve Grabowski. Luis Colon just turned the fastest lap behind Eli Cannon. He's trying to gain that spot down.
Got 2 seconds.
He's got James Miller in front of him though, and Miller is trying to unlap himself. He's only 1 lap down, so Miller is not going to let him go without a fight. He's trying to catch Eli Cannon just as much as Colon is.
Where is Shana? Where's Alexander Shana?
Alexander Shanna, looks like Shanna had an issue.
Yes, he had an issue.
Got a little bit of that curb in turn 1.
Ooh,
Just got loose
did he
on that
avoid the
braking
wall?
zone.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. He just lost a lot of time. Grabowski in the pits. There we see him on the left-hand side.
Tough
He's
break
now
for,
P9.
Tough break for Steve, but we've seen a lot of this year. He definitely has pace, but incidents on track just keep happening and end up putting him further down towards the grid. But now he's going to be battling with Miller and Baukamp.
Oh,
as
it
Luis
wasn't-
Colon locks up, that's going to allow Schegetman to get by and possibly Lewis Archer.
Close on the inside. Archer tries to go on the outside, on the off-camber section, and he goes down the inside. Colon was wide. And let's see now if Archer can gain a place with a slipstream. Ooh, he's closing, he's closing, he's closing. He takes the
podium
inside.
spot. This is where Baukamp and Miller got together.
Ooh.
Lewis thinks twice about it. He's being cautious. It's only lap number 7.
Yes, that was very cautious of him. Very cautious.
Putting a lot of pressure on Luis Colon, though. Eli Cannon's got almost a 4.5 second gap over Schegetman in second.
Very weird lines through turn 1. From both of them.
Lewis getting a lot of curb. Gotta wonder if there's something going on with Lewis Archer. Not driving like the Lewis Archer we usually see right now. So we'll see if he's got maybe that not having a good qualifying run got to his head and he's having a little bit of an issue there.
He lost more than a second from the leader last lap.
He
But,
lost
yeah.
almost a second on Luis Colon on that last lap. He was
Yes.
1/10 behind him, and now he's about to lose that time. He's getting a little bit of that toe being within a second behind him, but Lewis Archer really struggling at the beginning of this race.
That makes me wonder, is that damage? Is that more fuel on his car? I don't know. He lost a lot of time. That's not up to his standards, but we all know that he's very, very consistent. Fastest lap for Cristiano Schegetman, gap to 3 seconds. Top. It's an easy track to make mistakes.
There's got to be something wrong with Lewis's car. Lewis falling further and further back from Luis Colon. So not sure if he's got some floor damage or what from going off. Maybe he's got a little bent steering, something. I'm not exactly sure. But Lewis Archer not driving with Lewis Archer today, which leaves open that top spot. Currently at the moment, it looks like James Miller just unlapped himself over Eli Cannon. So Miller getting back on the lead lap. He's going to be hoping for a safety car.
And the gap is less than 2 seconds. So in fact, it's 1.5. First to second. Schegetman looks good for a chance to win this one.
Yeah, early on in the race, we are about to be 10 laps in. We are on lap 10 right now. Schegetman having a great drive. He missed Long Beach last week and showed up in an F2 car this week, and currently
is that
chasing
Moller?
down Eli Cannon. Eli Cannon locks up a little bit, and that allows Cristiano to pull it in within half a second. Now they're coming down that long straight.
Ooh,
He's going to be right there on his tail. Cannon doesn't get a very good jump out of that corner. And Schegetman's got the toe. He's going to get there before they get down the hill. Can he do anything? Oh, just so close by the time they get to the hill, and I believe that is Daniel Thomas there in front of these guys, trying not to go a lap down, currently 7th position.
Yes, Daniel Thomas had enough last lap, on this lap. Now it's the last lap. Oh, very close between the top two.
Daniel Thomas goes off in turn 1! Completely destroys his car.
That was a very big impact for Thomas. And
Eli Cannon goes off! Eli Cannon wrecks! And he just gets loose coming out of that corner. A little bit of contact, but that's all it takes. Move Cristiano Schegetman up to the lead.
He's now
2.5 seconds over his teammate Luis Colon. So the Turning Point Racing guys really having an outstanding performance so far this afternoon.
Again, as I said before the start of the race, consistency will be the key for this race. And now Cristiano Schegetman has gained 6 places and he's in front, leading the race ahead of his teammate Luis Colon. Colon took 1 second last time out, but I think Schegetman had to back off as Cannon. Oh, Shanna crashed! Did Shanna crash? That's the info from the race circuit. Oh. Yes. And I think we have a change for the lead. Schegetman has lost the lead. Oh, he went on the bumps and he lost it. He touched the wall. Oh no, Cristiano, what did you do? What did you do, Cristiano? Yeah, he's got front wing damage. He's defending from Moller. Is that Moller? Yes. Excellent driving from Bounding. As Shagelman leaves the pits right now, he's in 5th place. Let's see where he will end up. Gap to the top is 7 seconds between Cologne and Archer. This reminds me a lot of the first race at Monza, where nobody wanted to win. Everyone who was in first place either spun or got hit from behind. It was a very crazy. Oh, is that Shanna? Is that Shanna going off track at the last corner? Did he avoid
like
the
that
wall?
was Shanna,
Yes,
yep.
he did. Oh,
Having
what a race!
Really rough go here. It looks like Lewis Archer's still getting heat from James Miller. That's going to slow Lewis Archer down. You see Lewis now almost 9 seconds behind Luis Cologne. Miller towing, getting that tow on Lewis is actually holding Lewis back a little bit. Lewis really needs to break away. I have to imagine if he can't break away and gain a little bit of time on Cologne, he's going to have to make a pit stop and try to undercut or something at some time. We'll have to see what happens there. Looks like Cristiano Schegeman's moving in front. Oh, Steve Bunting's actually in the pits.
Yes, he's exiting the pits right now as we speak. I think this is very... Archer is changing the lines. I think he's very, very annoyed with the Orion car behind him.
Yep, that... no, that's actually a Lumos car. That is...
Lumos, I'm sorry.
Lumos, but Lumos, he's putting a lot of pressure on Lewis, and he's getting a toe off Lewis, so it's slowing Lewis down, it's making him drive defensively, and it's allowing Luis Cologne to get further and further away. Cologne almost 10 seconds now ahead of Lewis. And Lewis just not able to put some laps down, so at the moment, Lewis is losing time on our leader, Luis Cologne.
Ooh, he went wide at turn 2, turn 3, excuse me. Gap 10.5 seconds, I think. Yes, I do believe that Archer has an issue. His pace is not representative. Unless that's his true pace, and he said that just doesn't work.
You'd have to...
Eli Cannon is closing though.
You'd have to think if Lewis Archer was having an issue that he'd be making a pit stop at his earliest convenience. Because if you look behind him, this man is coming. Eli Cannon currently running in third, chasing down Lewis Archer, who's under fire from James Miller. So these two battling up in front is allowing Cannon to catch up and stick his nose into the battle.
Oh, Miller on the inside of Archer. Oh, he pushes Archer wide. Oh, they touch! They did touch. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure they touch. And now, let's see how.
Oh, Lewis Archer spins out!
Loses it!
And he's into the wall. He's flipping. Tough break for Lewis Archer.
Oh, he has a lot of damage.
Lots of damage. Is he going to be able to make it back to the pits? This is what all of our other contenders needed. Lewis Archer having a rough day. Tough break for Lewis, and it happened at the beginning of the racetrack too. He's got to try to limp that thing all the way around. Is he just going to tow? Lewis is just going to tow. Tough break for Lewis. That is going to put him down below 5th. That's going to allow a couple of these drivers, especially these Turning Point Racing drivers running 1st and 3rd, to gain a few points on the Kuda Works F2 drivers.
Moller also jumped into the pits. Oh, what a day. What a day.
And Lewis can't be happy about Miller going to the pits 2 laps after he gets by and Lewis wrecks. Not sure if that was just dirty air off Miller that caused Lewis a little bit of trouble, or if Lewis was just pushing a little too hard with a little bit of damage. Not really quite sure what that was, but very unlike our championship contender, Lewis Archer.
Alexander Chana has entered the pits, and Both Grabowski and Baukam passed him for P5. Grabowski is less than a minute behind Bunting, who is in 4th. Let's see what will
Grabowski's
happen.
still a lap down though, waiting.
Yes.
Bunting is going to have to get lapped by Luis Colon before Grabowski can get by Bunting.
Shanes exits the pits. So where will Lewis Archer go out? When will he go out?
Well, James Miller is in the pits as well, so Lewis Archer currently sitting 8th position. Tough break for our reigning champion. Well, as we get ready, we're almost to the halfway point. We're about a third of the way through this race.
Wow.
Luis Colon in the Turning Point Racing Machine out in front. Eli Cannon behind him in 2nd place, having a great run for Orion Racing. The only Orion Racing entry here today, so definitely a very much needed run for him. And Cristiano Schegemann currently sitting in 3rd in the other Turning Point Racing entry. Turning Point looking to pick up on their points lead.
Schegemann is on the same lap, I believe, as Grabowski. No, I think Grabowski and Baukam are behind him. The worst possible day for Kuda. Worst possible day. All 4 cars had issues. Pretty much everyone had contact. No safety cars, since nobody actually blocked the track. And now Luis Colon is leading the race on lap 18. We are about to get into lap 19 out of 46
So
for the round 7 of the AFL Formula 2 Championship.
Yeah, so as we get into this and we talk about the repercussions of what's going on, we take a look at our constructors' points there down in the bottom right-hand corner. The Coodworks F2 team is currently running in 5th and 8th, and they are currently 70-something points ahead. But 5th and 8th, I believe, is actually less than about 10 points. So that'd bring them almost to 200 points. But the 2 Turning Point guys getting, if they finish as they were, 25 and 15, that would give them an extra 40 points, which would at least essentially almost cut the gap in half to the Coodworks F2 team in the constructor standings. So a very, very critical race for Turning Point to have a very good run today. And if they can pull it off, they're definitely going to gain some ground on the Coodworks F2 team. Steve Grabowski still running in 5th. He can still pull off a couple good spots, but with only a few drivers up in front of him, 2 of them being Turning Point drivers, either way, they're currently going to gain points in the championship, which is definitely good for these guys. The Kudu Works, the Kudu Evo F2 team really struggling today with Ivan Baukamp and Daniel Thomas, currently in 6th and 10th. Lewis Archer finally coming out of the pits 4 laps down. Very, very tough break. We do have Daniel Thomas and James Miller who have officially retired. And to be completely honest with you, Lewis Archer might have officially retired as well. Lewis not coming back on the racetrack, so Lewis might actually be our 3rd retirement of the race.
Is he though? He's still showing in P8. We saw him leave the pits. Very weird. Every point counts in this championship, and anything can happen as it usually does. Now, who is that? That's Bunting, about to be lapped by Cologne.
And that's going to allow Steve Grabowski, if he can catch up to Bunting, that would allow Steve Grabowski to pick up some more points.
He's gaining around 2 seconds per lap from Bunting, so it might be nip and tuck until the end of the race. Backam is 10 seconds behind Grabowski, so that's an interesting fight to watch on. Yeah, unfortunately, drivers spun or crashed, and gaps have increased. Oh, nice. The Gutakar is very nice through that
Nice lap
section.
by Luis Colon. Got the fastest lap of the race with a 106.6 or 109.635. Sorry. Definitely going to try to pick up that extra bonus point for the fastest lap now that Lewis Archer is officially retired on lap number 22. So 3 cars officially retired, 7 drivers still out on track, and we are on our halfway lap. Once Luis Colon finishes this lap, we will be halfway through our Road Atlanta Grand Prix, and I should be expecting to see some pit stops here coming here soon. And from the looks of things, the only person that doesn't have an off track is Steve Bunting at this moment in time. It'd be really cool to see Steve Bunting get that 1 bonus point for the safest race.
I think we have now officially 3 retirements from this race. This is such a difficult car. Very difficult car. 110.1, again 7 tenths faster. Luis Colon from Eli Cannon. Cristiano Schegerman has good pace. He's gaining a bit from Eli Cannon. He has gained overall 3 seconds in the last 8 laps. He may be up for second place. We'll see. And Grabowski. Oh. Yes, something happened to Grabowski. Oh, destroyed. Huge mistake. huge possibility, but as we see from the broadcast, Backham has damage on his front wing. He's lapping 2 seconds faster than Bunting, even though he has front wing damage. Let's see. I don't think either of them has to pit again. I'd be quite surprised if both of them have to pit. Gap is 53 seconds. And we have our leader into the pits. Luis Colon has entered the pits for the first time today. First pit stop on lap 20 at the end of lap 26.
Is he far enough ahead of Cannon to be able to... Ooh, Eli Cannon's going to come in the pits right behind him.
At the end, yes.
So Cristiano Schegemann, our third place driver, is he going to stay out and gain a little bit of time?
Yes,
Well, Luis Colon just went into the pits, so he's got to wait one lap to be able to take a pit stop, I believe.
Yes. Teammates cannot pit at the same lap.
Eli Cannon. Is he gonna push real hard right now? Wait a couple laps and try the overcut.
I think he last pitted on lap 12, so I think he has around 10 laps to go on his fuel tank. He cannot do 35 laps on a full tank. This guy cannot do 35 laps.
It looks like the pit lane time is about 36 or so seconds. So he's definitely, he's 17 seconds ahead of Eli Cannon at the moment. So unless he can gain another 20 seconds on Eli Cannon over the next few laps, Eli Cannon will come back out ahead of Schegemann when Schegemann comes in for his final pit stop. But currently out front, the two Turning Point Racing drivers, Luis Colon and Cristiano Schegemann, at the point of the Road Atlanta Grand Prix.
Baucam still gaining 2 seconds a lap from Bunting. Now let's see. Let's see what will Eli Cannon do and what Schegemann can do. How fast can he go? We have 6 cars left in the race with Grabowski officially retiring. The whole Kuda. 3 cars out of the race, 3 out of 4, and the 4th car is P5, not even in the top 3.
Yep, Luis Colon running up front
Gap 8
him
seconds.
up here, currently 31 seconds ahead of Eli Cannon. Shagetman still has to pit, who's 8 seconds behind, so that will leave his nearest competitor to be Eli Cannon. And Cannon turned in a 1:14 lap there, so losing more time on Luis Colon. Colon has made his pit stop, so he is ready to go to the end. As long as Colon doesn't make a mistake and go off, I believe we're currently looking at our Road Atlanta Grand Prix winner.
Perhaps after 20 laps of pure chaos, nothing really happened in the past 10-11 laps. Shagerman is closing. Cologne does 110.7. Shagerman has less fuel in his tank. I think he will pit in around 5 to 8 laps. Maybe, I don't know how much he can stretch it out. And he will be behind Eli Cannon by around 10 to 12 seconds. Let's see if Shagetman can attack Cannon for P2 in this race, as Shagetman overtakes. That's Alexander Shanna. Ivan Balcom has entered the pits. Yes, I think it's a scheduled one. He just left the pits. He will be ahead of Shanna, Alexander Shanna, who's exiting the final corner right now. So Bunting pitted on lap 13, so he still has one more pit stop to go. Maybe Balcom can close it. Ooh, almost for Shagetman. He went a bit wide at the exit of turn 3. Must be very careful. He has a podium up for grabs. He's effectively in 3rd place, and it's 1-2 for turning point right now. Oh, he beats it on the curb. He went a bit wide. Cristiano, be very, very careful. Very careful. The gap is increasing yet again. He has lost more than a second on this lap from Cologne.
Yeah, only 4 drivers on the lead lap, and our final driver on the lead lap is none other than Steve Bunting. But you see Ivan Baukamp there trying to chase down Steve, but he's 1 lap behind right now, and laps are closing down, so Steve is going to have to take another pit stop, I believe. But
yes,
unless if he pitted on lap 13, so it is possible that Steve made the earliest possible pit stop and is going to make it to the end, which would make it very, very difficult for Ivan Baukamp to get that 4th place position. I believe we've seen Steve Bunting on one of our races pit on lap 8 and made it to the end. So Steve seems to be an early pitter, wondering if he's going to make it to the end on that lap 13 pit stop.
Balcom laps himself from Bunting. He's now 70 seconds behind him. And right up behind them is Luis Colon, the race leader.
Now, will this make, when Luis Colon passes Steve Bunting, is that going to effectively, I guess that would not put Ivan Baukamp in front of him. It makes Ivan Baukamp able to get in front of him now, but Baukamp's about to go another lap down from Luis Colon himself.
Now we have top 3 on the same lap. Bunting will pit, and then the gap will be around 30 seconds from Baukamp, and the Dutch driver has to push.
And he is putting a lot of space between him and Bunting at the moment.
Ooh, the driver who's pushing is Shagetman, 109.7, 1.6 seconds faster than Cologne. I think that Cologne isn't pushing. I think that Cologne is taking it very cautiously. He has a how much gap?
He's got a 41
40.
second gap to Eli Cannon.
Yes.
So it's gonna be tough, but at the same time, if Steve Bunting pitted at lap 13 and thinks he can make it to the end, maybe Cristiano Schegemann pitting at lap 12 can make it to the end. So who knows? Maybe Cristiano Schegemann is gonna be there. He's only 8.7 seconds behind, and he just turned the fastest lap of the race with a 109.507. So Schegemann coming in the grass. Oh, and Schegemann, as we go to him, goes off track. Turns the fastest lap of the race.
He had to be careful. He didn't have to push. He was effectively P3. He will lose a lot of time now, and I think any chance for a turning point 1-2 has disappeared.
Well,
from
unless
this
he
mistake.
can make it to the end on the tank of fuel that he's got. Eli Cannon still 2019. Oh, he's gaining a lot of time on Schegemann right now.
Yes,
but
he
still,
has.
it looks to be evening out at about 18 seconds behind still. So Schegemann now further ahead to the point where he's going to come out behind Cannon if he has to make another pit stop. But if he does not have to make another pit stop, I think he'll be okay if he doesn't make any more mistakes. But he just lost about 10 seconds on the leader, Luis Colon, and his teammate.
The leaders had done 26 laps on their first stint, so that may indicate how much Schegemann put on lap 12 when he pitted. Let's see. It's we have still 11 laps to go, and it's turning point 1-2 right now.
Luis Colon still trying to get by Ivan Baukamp. Ivan doesn't want to let him take that space. He is going to let him go though. He just can't help it with that toe there. But Luis Colon doing a great job working his way through traffic and keeping the pace up. I mean, he's not turning 112s. He's still turning, decent laps. But being stuck behind, see a 110.068, still almost into 109s, just a half a second off his fastest lap of the race. So Luis Colon still not taking a Sunday drive. He's still pushing and trying to make sure that he could put some gap behind him.
He looks good in the car. He's confident. The body language of the car is very good. He has a good setup. He's feeling comfortable, and he's leading the race. And his psychology must be very, very high. He's about to win a race.
Yep, 10 more laps to go. Currently 17.5 seconds over second place. 36 seconds over third place of Eli Cannon. So Luis Colon has got himself in a really awesome position, and all he's got to do is just bring it home.
Let's see his lap time now. Will he improve? No, 1:10.0. Yet again a very, very fast lap. Baukamp has gained a lot of time to. The gap is 62 seconds. Oh, very aggressive on the curbs from Baukamp.
And
He's
if
P5.
If you're correct about 26, that would give him only 39 laps of fuel from lap 13. So we should, if you're correct, we should see
Schegemann off track.
And
did Schegemann went off track?
He might have gone off track, but we should be seeing Steve Bunting and Cristiano Schegemann coming to the pit lane very shortly. If that 26 laps is what they can do on a full tank of fuel.
Shana has had enough. He's running P6. Oh, I think he crashed. I think he crashed, Shanna.
Alexander
Now,
Shanna
where
have
is he?
Another issue on track.
Oh, he's out of return.
Oh, he just missed that apex. Misjudged it, hit that curb.
Very unfortunate. For Shanna, running P6, he's looking for 8 points right now. And I do wonder who has the least incidents. I do wonder.
Currently, Steve Bunting has 0 off tracks. So I'm not saying that that's not incident points, but Steve Bunting has not gone off track yet. So currently looking like Steve Bunting may be our fastest lap of the race, and Alexander Shanna is hitting the pit lane. He may be calling it a day. He was not close enough to Ivan Baukamp to really do anything, so Shanna might just be making a pit stop, but...
Now, we are on lap 39. Does Segedman pit?
Segedman's currently on lap number 40. If anything, this would be his lap to pit. And it looks like he is not pitting, so maybe he's got more in the tank than what we think.
Is that the turning point 1-2?
That
would be very exciting.
Bunting getting lapped by our leaders, under pressure from Cristiano Segedman, having one of the best runs of his career so far in the F2 division, taking advantage of other people's misfortunes and just being safe and clean. Currently running 4th place. So great run for Steve Bunting. He's got to be happy about this performance.
He must be very, very happy. And he's about to take 1 extra point for the least incidents. That's a good recognition.
He's got 10 more seconds up on him, but he's still 60 seconds behind with only 5 laps to go. I really don't think Baukamp's going to be able to get there.
Now, does Segedman pit? No, he doesn't. Oh. Okay. So
it could just be that he's got the leaders made their pit stops, knowing that their tires were falling off and they had more fuel, and Segedman's just out here, with a little bit more worn tires, but running that fuel out so that way he can have a good finish. Strategy definitely taking place. I mean, maybe he goes through and he pits with a lap to go. Who knows?
That's possible. That's possible.
He's currently 17 seconds out ahead of Eli Cannon, so as long as Eli Cannon keeps pushing, if Segedman does come to the pits, Cannon will have that 2nd place position.
21 seconds the gap to Cannon.
He needs 14 more seconds to be able to come out in front of him.
Oh, he's not coming. That shot tricked me. That shot tricked me, to be honest with you, Rob.
Oh, and there's the fastest lap of the race, too. He's really pushing a 109.362. He's got to be getting light. But Steve Bunting, he pitted along with him a lap after him, and Steve Bunting's still on racetrack, too. So these drivers could be pushing it to the end. 5 more laps to go. Luis Colon out front. Cristiano Segedman in 2nd, and Eli Cannon running out your podium in 3rd.
If you don't have to pit, then there is no point in pushing. No point in pushing. I mean, it's to go. You don't have to risk anything, especially if you are 1-2. You don't have to risk it. Luis Colon turning 1/11 right now. He's comfortably leading. I don't want to jinx it, but let's see the incidents. Oh, he got unsettled. Unsettled. Balkan has 15 incidents, as has Moller. Grabowski had 16. Shana has 14. Yeah, Cologne has 4. Cannon has 4. Schegemann has 13. Oh! Cologne.
Almost going off track there. So it looks like
Almost.
Steve Bunting getting ready to get the safest race point. Awesome drive for that driver from the BE Racing squad.
54 now seconds ahead of Balkan. I don't think Balkan is pushing either. I mean, he's 1 second slower per lap than Schegemann almost. His compatriot, and Balkan had the pole position, so...
Ivan's got that front wing damage currently, still hanging on out there. He could take a pit stop, but he doesn't want Alexander Shanna to take that 5th place. He still wants them extra points. So he's going to be staying out with that damage, just trying to hold on to the end of the race. Luis Colon been the class of the field today. 3 more laps to go in the Road Atlanta Grand Prix, and he will win his first F2 Grand Prix here with the iFormula League. He has got to be jumping out of his seat right now. I cannot imagine what it would feel like to be in there, knowing that A, you're winning your first Grand Prix with the iFormula League and the F2, but also that you're gaining that many points on Cuda Works and Lewis Archer.
Turning point were the winners on round 1 at Monza.
Yep, Don Day actually took his victory. Luis Colon been waiting for his, but 2 laps from now, as long as he keeps it on track, he's gonna get his on round number 7.
He did his personal best lap, 109.7. 109.7.
Schegemann is closing the gap just a little bit. He's closed about 2 seconds in the last 5 laps, but that's not going to be enough to catch his teammate. Bunting and Schegemann still out from their lap 12 and 13 pit stops. Tires got to be fading a little bit.
Oh, Balkan had enough. He went off track. And where is he?
Looks like Ivan Baukamp having some issues.
Oh, on the first right-hander. So slippery, isn't it? Oh, he lost the back end of the car. He got loose. Got loose.
Still
White flag
out.
waving at the start-finish straight as Luis Colon is about to take his first win of the iFormula 2 Championship, brought to you by Butt Kicker. What a race we witnessed again tonight.
Yeah, Luis Colon doing everything right. Had a couple.
Oh,
off
Eli
tracks.
Cannon crashed? Where is Eli Cannon?
Eli Cannon is in 3rd.
He came back on track. He had enough. He lost a lot of time. So, yes, we're on the final lap. Final lap for turning point 1-2.
What a great race for Turning Point coming out here. Haven't had the greatest couple weeks, and they lost a lot of ground on the Cuda Works F2 team. But this 1-2 with that extra point is definitely gonna help them stay in the battle for the constructor standings. As Luis Colon comes around the final corner, he's gonna be your winner at the Road Atlanta Grand Prix. And right behind him, his teammate Cristiano Schegemann getting ready to come out of the last corner as well. And it's gonna be a Turning Point Racing 1-2. As you see, Schegemann going really, really slow.
Don't tell me he ran out of fuel.
He could possibly have. Eli Cannon still in third. Looks like Steve Bunting just comes across the track. He's going to finish his personal best of fourth.
I think
And
second man.
Eli
has run out of
Cannon
fuel.
getting ready to take a podium spot for Orion.
Good result, he was
comes
leading.
across the line in fifth.
There we go. Eli Cannon finishes third. Podium finish for Orion Racing.
What a race, ladies and gentlemen. What a race. Luis Colon, your winner of the Road Atlanta Grand Prix. A 1-2 for Turning Point Racing. What a beginning of the race. That was absolutely insane.
And I have to say that I am very, very impressed with Turning Point's strategy, especially Cristiano Schegeman's. He came into the pits on lap 12 and he managed to have great pace and finished in second place. I believe we may have soon our top 3 for the interviews, Rob, if I am correct.
We do, and we have our third place finisher. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first podium in the IFL F2 division. Eli Cannon, what a run, buddy. Take us through your race.
Eli?
I got you, Eli? Eli?
Do you get us, Eli?
Possibly some technical issues going on here.
Eli? Oh no. Eli, can you hear us? We cannot hear you. If you can hear us, then something is wrong with your settings.
Well, it looks like we're having some technical issues with our third place finisher, Eli Cannon.
Shall we go to Cristiano first and then to Eli until he fixes his
Like
issue?
that's what we're gonna have to do there. So our second place driver, Cristiano Schegetman, bringing it home in P2 for Turning Point Racing. You missed the Long Beach Grand Prix last week. You come out here in the F2 and just blow it away. Cristiano, congratulations on P2 on the podium. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a good start. Well, of course, I don't know his name, but somebody else had a better start. But yeah, it was a weird race for sure. In a couple of first laps, a lot of chaos and wrecks and crashes and all that stuff. I don't know. I tried my best to avoid everything, but Ivan was a little bit lagging, and eventually I had a netcode with him. But yeah, everything fell on its place. I was calm. Everything, yeah. It just was a normal race for myself.
Cristiano starts here. You entered the pits on lap 12, and you did the whole race on another 36 laps, if my calculations are correct.
Yeah.
Did you have any more fuel when you passed the finish line?
No. I was happy I could just make it up the hill. Otherwise, I knew I was fucked. But yeah, it was extremely hard because I was thinking in the last 5-6 laps. Yeah, I was thinking like, oh shit, am I going to make this or not? And then yeah, I told Louis like, yeah, it's going to be close. So yeah, I'm happy I've made the finish line, because when I was rolling down the hill, I was thinking, oh, like, oh yes, I made it. Yeah, it was a close call, but we made it.
Apologies for the language. Cristiano, you're racing tomorrow in F3. How does today's race, or tonight? I guess tonight. It's night there in the Netherlands. Helps you? How does this race help you in terms of preparation for tomorrow?
Well, I don't know. I think this race is going to help me a lot with the long stints, and maybe, yeah, I'm looking a little bit forward with some battles. But yeah, it's going to be close, I think, because yeah, Kelly is fast. Yeah, you are fast at this, and yeah, a lot of people are fast right now, and are having some great times. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see tomorrow.
Tell us in the first laps what happened when the coup de car of Ivan Balkan went off track and he was right in front of you. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. Louis, like I wanted to go around the outside at Louis, but that didn't work. And out of nowhere he said, "Whoa, whoa, what is this?" And I wasn't paying attention at that point. And then like out of nowhere he glitched in front of me and he braked. So I don't know, but he said he was having his steering wheel straight, so something weird happened. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a little bit of a netcode too because I braked literally at some of the last seconds, and I think I could have made it, but yeah, the game thought no, you're not making it. So
You made a mistake and lost around 10 seconds in the final stint. Did you take it easy after that?
can you say that one more time, please?
You made a mistake in the final 15 laps and you lost around 10 seconds to Louis, who was leading, and Eli was catching you. Did you take it easy after that? Were you
No.
cautious?
No, I don't think so because I spun earlier in the race when I was P1. I was happy, but I was just focusing way too much on that fastest lap. I think I got it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I was just done with the fastest lap, and then out of nowhere, that curve just takes me all the way off, and then I spun, and I was like, oh shit, I need to watch out because I was already on the 13X, so I needed to watch out because of that context too, you know. So well, I'm happy I haven't got a penalty and still could continue the race.
Well,
Rob, over to you.
congratulations on your podium. P2 today. Great points for you. Great points for the Turning Point Racing in Don Day's absence. So overall, a very very awesome run for you and your team in general. Is there anybody you want to thank for this run today?
I want to thank Louis to give me this opportunity for letting me ride the car and yeah, helping me with some of the corners a little bit. And, yeah, just yeah, I want to thank him, Louis. Louis
There
Conlon.
he is, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher, Cristiano Shagetman, bringing it home for Turning Point Racing. We're going to see if we can't get our third place finisher in here. Eli Cannon up in the booth. You got us, bud?
Yeah, sure do.
There we go. A little bit of an issue there at the beginning. We got her figured out. Eli, what a race, man! I believe this is your first podium in the IFL. Talk us through your race. That you got out and you were able to get by all the incidents that happened on the first couple laps, and I believe you led the first like 8 or 9 laps. Talk us through what happened and what that's like.
Yeah, so I mean, did get through all that sort of chaos at the beginning, and there was a lot of unfortunate luck for people there. I think the guys that I did get past were a bit faster than I am, so it was a bit of luck. And then, of course, when I eventually lost that position, it was due to I think my setup in that particular corner. If you get too far out on that curb, I just feel like it just unsettles the car so much, and it just caught me out and pushed me off the track there, and it caused me to lose a few spaces. But I think at least I was already pretty far up and had a good gap, so it allowed me kind of keep my pace and position, and didn't cost me too terrible much. So I was able to catch up again.
Yeah, you were able to keep it on track. Your pit stop went off flawlessly. You had one of the faster pit times between the top 5 drivers. What kind of strategy goes into the race, knowing that you're the only driver for your team? You don't got to worry about anybody else making pit stops. What does that do for your strategy when you're a sole guy trying to take on a field of this caliber?
I mean, for me, it was just about keeping position. So, really, what I was doing, I was coming out early race with just a little bit less fuel to keep my pace up because my pace is just a little bit less than those front guys. So I just came out with a little less fuel and was ready to pit, just after midway through. And of course, I waited for the leader to pit and then followed him in. That got me back out just in time to get right behind Christian and kind of keep that podium position. And really, as the only driver for my team on track, it was just about being as consistent as possible. And trying to score some points, just to keep us in the running or the upper portion of the field.
Eli starts here. Were you expecting Cristiano to pit at the end of the race?
I really was. I kept waiting for him to pit, and I saw his times dropping too, where he was getting down in the 109s and such. I'm like, oh, I guess his fuel is getting low. He's probably going to be pitting, and he just didn't. So hats off to him for making it all the way through there.
Did that alter your race laps? Were you a bit slower on purpose because you expected him to pit, and maybe you lost second place, or you were flat out?
Yeah, no, I was definitely holding off to just try to keep it safe and keep it on the track and be consistent and kind of keep my gap with him, because I did figure if he came into the pit, I'd be able to gain on him and get the distance in front of him to carry it to the end of the race. So it definitely threw off my strategy, but I think it worked out okay in the end, and still ending up on the podium from a fourth place start. Pretty happy with that, honestly. And again, like, really good planning by Cristiano. He got me with that strategy. It just really worked out for him.
Final question from me. We saw you leading the race. We saw many other drivers leading the race, and unfortunately, all of you made the mistakes, and you had spins or offs or crashes. Uh, why do you think this happens to a driver when he's leading and how do you feel when you are leading the race? Is it different? How much does this affect your psychology and your approach to each lap?
Yeah, so I think when I was in race lead, I'm kind of fighting internally with, do I push it or do I, keep it kind of safe and just try to maintain that lead and stay on the track. So I think we've seen time and time again that consistency really can put you in the places. It can really push you up on the pole, and I think that happened again here. We saw people going off everywhere. So I mean, really, for me, especially in the lead there, it is that struggle, right? Like, do you push harder to really maintain it via sheer speed, or do you push hard enough and really just try to remain consistent? So that's that internal struggle, and maybe the noise of that conversation going on in your head is a little bit of a distraction too. So, the smallest thing can catch you out, and I think these cars in particular, anything faster than this, even, they're just really very tricky, and it just takes the smallest wrong foot and bang, you're off the track, and I think that's what happened to me and many others. I saw the same thing happen to Archer. And it's unfortunate, but these cars are just very, very difficult, and it just takes the most minimal mistake, and you pay.
So when you see
Well,
someone like Lewis Archer, F3 champion last year, an amazing driver. He's won 4 out of the 7 races that we've got so far this season. When you see him struggle so hard on a racetrack, what does that make you feel like? How do you feel when you see someone at the caliber of Lewis Archer really struggling at a racetrack? How do you really attack that? Does that kind of change your mindset that you need to be careful or more careful with yourself, or what does that really do to you when you see something like that happen?
I mean, I guess it doesn't make me necessarily change my mindset, other than if I push just a little bit harder, I might have a little more of an advantage, either catching him or getting past him or whatever. But especially when I saw him go off, I can definitely empathize, because I think I'd gone off in that same spot almost that Lewis did. And so getting caught out like that, I guess it maybe equalizes everybody in your mind, where you do kind of, you look up to the guys that are faster than you, and you want to be right up there with them. Seeing them struggle, seeing them have, maybe not the pace that you typically would think they would, can definitely be a bolster for confidence, especially during the race.
Well, it definitely worked out to your advantage today. Finish in P3. I'm pretty sure this is actually your first podium with the IFL F2 series. So congratulations on that. Enjoy it. Next week we have a very, very tough week. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we go to Watkins Glen next week. No, actually we go to Circuit de Villeneuve. Are you familiar with that track? Are you ready for that week?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited for Montreal. I think it's a really fun track. I'm excited. I just like this one. This one was a new track for me actually. This is the first time I've raced it ever. And just practice sessions preparing for it were my first time on this track. So I think this kind of proved to myself that I can come out and do a good job with no familiarity. So having some familiarity coming into the next, yeah, that'll be great. I think it'll give me a foot up and give me a good place to start in practices, and hopefully pan out in the race.
Well, the momentum is definitely behind you. Congratulations on your P3. Great job finishing on the podium, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week, Eli. You have a great week.
Hey, thank you both. Great broadcast. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher. But now we have the man of the hour, the winner of the Road Atlanta Grand Prix, Luis Colon. Louis, what a drive, man. Congratulations on your first victory.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. I almost passed out sitting here in the broadcast waiting room, man.
Yeah, we had a couple guys that finished behind you this week that we had to interview, so we definitely had to make you wait and enjoy this just a little longer. Take us through your race. You got through this stuff at the beginning. You chased down Eli Cannon, and you finished 45 seconds or so ahead of the other drivers, and most of all, you got a 1-2 for Turning Point. Talk us through your race and what this win means to you.
Oh man, this race was really just about not making no mistakes. I mean, I seen in the first lap or two, guys were flying off the track. So all I was telling myself practically the entire race was like, look, don't be like that. Just try to stay on the track. Don't be like how you were in the past couple races. So really, I mean, it was all focusing on that. I mean, having the 1-2 win for Turning Point, I mean, we've been looking for that all season. I mean, but it felt great. I mean, honestly, it does.
Louis starts here. You're now second in the championship if my calculations are correct. How does it feel after a hard-fought win? And also, how would you rate this track in terms of difficulty compared to the other 6 that you raced before this season?
So the thing about this track, I mean, it's a track that I played on a lot of racing sims throughout my whole entire childhood. I mean, I've always loved this track, but in terms of driving it with an open wheel car, that's something that I've never done before, let alone in VR. So the thing is, I'm used to driving a GT car on this track, so you can eat up as much curb as possible. But with these cars, I mean, it's so stiff. I mean, the moment you touch a curb, it just sends an entire shockwave through the entire car, and it's unstable. So, yeah, the thing about this track was just really staying away from the curbs and knowing when to just get on the power just a little bit.
Rob?
Yeah, so towards the end of that race, you had Cristiano about 7 seconds behind you on a totally different strategy. Were you expecting him to pit, or were you just pushing, trying to stay ahead of him, knowing what kind of driver Cristiano is?
Oh, think about Cristiano. I knew he was a fantastic driver, but in terms of strategies, he was just trying to stay out as long as he possibly could until he had to go back in the pits. So, I mean, in correlation to anything, I mean, I wasn't really putting the foot down that much. I was just trying to maintain poise and integrity to stay on the track. So, just let Cristiano be Cristiano, you know? I knew he was going to do his thing, so I just tried to stick to what I could do, you know?
You gained a lot of points from Kuda Works Formula 2 team. Do you think that you're a serious challenger for the championship?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, when I first started racing in this series, I thought that I had a good chance. I mean, not a lot of times are separated that far of gaps. I mean, it depends on what track you're really racing, but a track like this, I mean, it's up for grabs for anybody.
Well, you definitely
What?
put on a show this afternoon. Led to most laps, and really, I think you probably, I think Steve Bunting got the safest point, but you only had 2 off tracks, which was less than everybody else other than Steve. So you had a pretty clean and safe race. Was that mainly your goal for today? Was to just
Oh
keep
yeah.
it on track and stay straight, or were you really looking to try to get some speed out of it as well?
I mean, focusing on staying on the track and not making mistakes was by far the most important thing that I was trying to focus and emphasize on this week. I mean, for the past couple weeks, I've been spinning the car out, putting myself in terrible situations, and really, I just got lucky this week. Didn't make that much mistakes.
How does this change your approach to the championship? Next race is Circuit de Villeneuve in Canada.
Yeah, that's a great track. Well, thing I'm gonna have to do is just find a way to make more time for practice. Unfortunately, I was only able to practice 3 times this week. Then I had to haul ass after work to be on able to, make the race
Mhm.
this afternoon. So I didn't have a lot of time to really dial myself into the track, but hey, it's got to put more time into practice, and then maybe I'll be able to stick a good time up there. Try to be in the top 5 positions. Most likely and most definitely will like to be in the top three.
Well, you and your team, Cristiano, Turning Point, and even Don Day, if he comes and races next week, all
Oh yeah.
have the momentum from this 1-2 victory here today. A great finish for the Turning Point Racing, the best of the season. Um,
Thank you, man.
Good luck for next week here. Is there anybody you want to thank for this victory?
Oh yeah. Want to give a big shout out to Cristiano. He put on a show today and he was able to stick it out. And I mean, honestly, he told me that he was struggling in the past with the car. Well, he was able to put it together this week and he did a fantastic job. Thanks for stepping in for Don for us this weekend, and best of luck to you tomorrow, man.
And there he is. Good luck next week, Luis Colon, our victor here at the Road Atlanta Grand Prix. And it was some type of race. There are your race results. Luis Colon coming home the victor with Cristiano Shegetman in the Turning Point machine bringing it home 1-2. Eli Cannon finishing third. Steve Bunting coming home with his best finish of the season in fourth. Ivan Baukamp bringing home the Cuda Evo F3 team or F2 team home in fifth place. Alexander Shanna finishes out of our running drivers in sixth place. Steve Grabowski, Lewis Archer, James Malaire, and Daniel Thomas all retired and wind out our field. And that's going to do it for our iFormula League presented by Butt Kicker F2 Division. Stathis, what a race. It was crazy at the beginning, and then the middle part kind of went out, and then the unknown popped up at the end, and it just kind of threw us through a thrill ride. What do you expect to see next week when we go to Montreal?
Next week, we had already one straight track at Long Beach, and we saw a crazy race there. Maybe we'll see another crazy race next week. Honestly, every week there's a crazy race, but my wish is to have more finishers and less mistakes from the drivers. We saw many of them have many of them did unforced errors. So this is an area where they need to improve, and I really do hope that we'll see less mistakes, because less mistakes means more finishers, and more finishers means more battles. And honestly, so far it's, as you said, it's been crazy, and I cannot make any prediction. It will be a roller coaster next week, and make sure to watch it. Don't miss it.
Yeah, definitely check it out next week. Saturday at 3:45 Eastern, we go live from the Montreal, or the Canadian Grand Prix, I think it's going to be. So definitely don't miss that. And also make sure you tune in tomorrow, same time, 3:45 Eastern, when the F3 division of the iFormula League takes on Road Atlanta themselves, and that should be a very, very good race.
Make sure you watch tomorrow's Formula 3 race. And yeah, I was Tals Corrigan's. On the comms, main commentator was Rob Slater.
Well, from everybody here at the IFL, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Butt Kicker, LTD Designs, and Majors Garage. Thanks for everything you guys do. And until next time, you guys have a great week.